I was invited to an RNG Invitational Multiverses tournament. The only problem, I've never played Multiverses before. In my past experience, I've only ever played Super Smash Bros. On, say, the Wii and the Wii U. Although I also have played Injustice 2 with a few other friends. That's pretty much my fighting experience, besides a few games I've played with friends at like an arcade and etc. For the tournament, I had to prepare, and I only had 2 weeks to do such. It was very interesting to train and learn the game, all while being under pressure of being the best I can do at a tournament. Although I had been invited to a semi-professional tournament by Patrick, it was not really of the sort, where half of the players on the roster actually knew how to play the game and were pretty good at the game. I was invited because it would be fun to watch me fail. Also, many other people, about half or more than half of the roster, never even touched the game before like me. Now, the only thing is I didn't want to underperform myself in the tournament. I didn't want to be the downset for my teammate going in. That meant I had to train. I had to train a lot. I had to get better at the game, and I had to do it fast. And all I had was a butt clenching, a ball tightening, 2 weeks to prepare. And I had to learn how to perform and make combos, perform combos, and just look good in the game. I needed to learn basic motor functions in a fighting game I've never played. Now, something I found really nice about the game is that they had a ranking system based on every single character in the game. So that meant I could queue up on, per se, Arya, what you're currently viewing, and I could see what my ranking was according to the world. And that was a groovy. Singular. Oh well, let's get to the training. The first course of action that I had to figure out was whether I had to use the keyboard or my controller. Some may say that the keyboard is superior in every standpoint, but for most of the fighting games, I find it actually a lot more fun and a lot almost easier to use a controller, as to why I chose that as my weapon of choice. Then there was the second and more difficult choice to make. I had to choose what character I would play as. This was difficult, as I knew that I had to find someone of many different groups of characters. Now, the first one I actually picked up was Harley Quinn, but I realized very soon that when I was very bad, that it wasn't exactly the character that I wanted to play. So then I swapped around a bit, and then I landed upon Arya Stark. Now, Arya Stark is a very fast character, can also teleport with a knife that she uses to stick in opponents. But that wasn't it. I needed something more. More than just a fast character that could get in and deal damage. I needed someone who could stand afar and deal damage. That's where Velma came in. I found that Velma was very good at staying at long distances and fitting in damage where she's needing it. Okay, so that is 2 characters that I think I can do pretty good on and I need to practice with. But I found another character called Steven Universe, who I found very, very nice in a 2v2 format in which the tournament was in. Steven is very different according to the different characters in the game, where the other characters have more offensive abilities or attacking moves. Steven was very much a support character, as the title and pretty much the description of the character says. He creates bubbles around characters and creates shields to bounce characters off of, while also having some pretty good damaging moves, and a decent speed on top of that. Now that I've picked my characters, now I need to get down to the nitty-gritty and actually learn my characters. This was a pretty tough task to do, even if it is just preliminary learning. As anyone who's actually played a fighter-style game knows that it takes a while to master the moves and combos and movesets and all that there is to do with a certain character. And not to mention that I also had to learn the basic functions of the game itself. I've got my characters, I've got my controller. Now I need to train. And so I did. I got to level 25 by learning attacks, combos, dodges, and just general game sense. But now was the time for the big tournament. You've been waiting, I've been waiting, we've all been waiting. For the first match was about to begin, and
But by the way, there is lines on you, Kevin, because Owen is saying if Hyper One doesn't win, I'm gonna
What?
riot. So there is pressure on the line.
And so there's more than just my victory to be had. For the first match, I had chosen Steven Universe, as I knew Steven Universe could take full benefit of the trees or surrounding the arena. The first match, I began by placing out a shield to oppose the opposing Jake, and then I also knew that I had to get into the fight a little bit more, so I jumped in. I just tried to help Shaggy, my teammate, by putting up bubbles every once in a while to kind of deter them continuing their combos. But also I knew that Jake had been, and I can obviously, you can see that Jake is more of a spamming type. If he's sitting in a single spot, spamming a single move. Now, I just needed to get one of them off the edge to deter their efforts. But also, I needed to place down my watermelon, Steven, to get some extra damage in there. But also, placing down a few more items and things that can really rack up damage on the enemies is also very, very nice. So now that I just needed to continue devastating their line. And that was a very nice shield for me, as I hit him while he's basically off the map. I barely missed the Jake there. And this is my least favorite part. Yep, I died pretty easily, as he keeps me down, which is actually a pretty good play though. Now at this moment I knew Jake had a ton of damage on him. You can see that he has 125 damage on him. I just needed to hit him basically once with a good smash move. One that would knock him out of the battlefield, and looks like Batman just went for a fell there, and really just dimpled his dimple. I don't even know what that means, but we'll find out. Anyway, now that Jake and Batman are out, we only need one more of them to get out of the ring to actually win. You only need 4 limbs, and it looks like Jake is going after my teammate Shaggy, because he's also got 144 damage on him, so it makes the most sense. But alas, I am a support character and trying to use my shield to make it so they can't do anything to my friend. Then they get put in a bubble, just as planned. And I almost fell off the map. That was a very close one. I ran out of jumps, and I also ran out of dodges. So that was very close. Now if I can just get these guys off the map, hold them off the map, they can't do anything. Boom, look at that. That's a lot of damage, and that's victory. Now all I need is just one more, and I win my first round. On to the next round. For the next one, I chose Steven once again, and I decided to go for pretty much the same plan as pretty much just build up a defense and then build up my army with my watermelon Steven. So then obviously I put down a thing to help explode and deal more damage. There's an unfortunate car there where it kind of crushed me. Then I beat up the Batman. Then I noticed that Jake has a lot of damage on him, but I still needed to get by this Batman. Jake was just kind of dealing with my little watermelon fella while I deal with the Batman. And oh my, that was a great sandwich throw. Anyway, I think this is pretty much, I'm outplaying my opponents here. They don't really even have a chance. Yeah, I think this one's in the bag. So far, we have a total of like around 120 damage, 130 damage. Someone around, not 130, but 110 damage on my team. Well, they've got around 1 dead and 90. 2 dead. So we're 2 up, 2 stocks up, while they're at 0. Which is quite a difference. Anyway, they're absolutely bombarding my friend here. So I need to exactly get him out of there, and which I did. Now they're trying to focus on me, even though Shaggy is at 122 damage. Now 138. He's almost got out of the field, but I bubbled him in time, so we didn't take any damage from that. I kind of have to just bubble around here to make sure that he doesn't die. Nice hit into him. Nice little pass. Watermelon guy's taking up some damage, but that's okay. He does not count as a stock, so that's always good. I couldn't save him in time. I do have 103 damage on me. I have to kind of juggle around here, make sure I have enough space to actually help out and just not die. So 2 to 1 still, and all I have to do is just get basically, well, I have to get both of them off the field, ideally, but at least I try to focus on this Jake first. Although I do have a lot of damage and I don't want to accidentally get off the map while I'm doing so. And that's what this Batman is trying to do. Oh, that was very close, very close. I blocked that pretty easily. Pretty predictable. Hit him with my shield. Ooh, a little bit close, a little bit close. Okay, so now we just need one more stock, and that is that Batman. We just need him off the field, and I win the first game. Okay, okay. Put up a shield. I'm out of the... Okay. Now, it's just after this Batman. We both need to focus on this Batman. Literally, like, one more hit should do it. And... Oh, so close. So close. They're juggling us around. This Jake is trying to make sure I do not get anywhere near him, but it is too late. We win the first game, and I move on to round 2. The following game after mine was easily won by Brisket, Beer, and Fate, as shown in this clip. The final match of the first bracket was actually just given to one of the teams as the other team left the tournament. But now I guess I should explain why this is called an RNG tournament, and that is this wheel. So after each final column of the game was made, a wheel was enacted by Patrick to completely change up the teams going into the next round. And that meant that after all those rounds, your teammate wouldn't actually be the teammate going into the next round with you. At least not on your side. Now something interesting happened here, where after all of them are finished, mine is left. And that means that I just go straight on to the next round without actually playing. So I just got to skip on to the next round without even lifting a finger. I should also mention Josiah, by default, also went on to the next round as well. And just in case you're actually kind of confused right now, here's a tournament bracket thing. Yeah. And then I'm just throwing around my name and stuff because they didn't know where to put me on the map since, you know, there's not a spot for moves on but didn't actually play. Now, this is where it kind of gotten to the point where I would like to just call this an RNG tournament, as for about 2 hours the next team, well, one of the halves of the team kept disconnecting from the game, and they just decided to do a match for whoever gets 1 kill goes on to the next round because they kept disconnecting. And as almost to be decided by fate, not the fate in the game, but just fate, it disconnects again, leaving Dante and Donut to win the round, as they had gotten kills earlier in other rounds and they had pretty decisive victory early on. The next round came and it was a fight between Bugs Bunnies, with Fate coming out on top, along with Tasty Tim, who both moved on to the next round. The next and final semi-final round. So who was in the semi-final round? Well, it was Josiah, me, Tasty Tim, Fate, Dante, and Donut left in the very semi-finals. As shown by the chart, if you wanted to take a quick look at this, I'm left outside. Now begins the semi-finals, and it is quite obvious by their levels and just general appearance, Bugs Bunny or Fate and Donut obviously won the match. Not to say there wasn't a fight from Dante and Josiah, but they sweep the floor with them with both their knees tied behind their elbows. And now it was time for the big shebang, the very final round. Would I win and take home the prize of pride, or would I just fall and just take home the pride of just knowing I got to second place? But this tournament was quite fun to just play in and just be a part of, as I even, for the 3 hours that I was waiting that I didn't even play a match, learned some ukulele and just reminded all of my viewers to subscribe, like, and check out the other people participating. That is very much appreciated. And now, the final event, the finals. Le fin de la rue, the very end of the road. For the first match, I had decided to go Velma against both their Bugs Bunny and their Harley Quinn. So, obviously, as seen here, I was getting quite pummeled, as so was my teammate. It didn't look too good from the beginning, sure, but I eventually got a hang of their playstyle and used it towards my advantage by supplying damage from far away and running in using Velma's run ability and just try to get in there, deal damage quickly, and leave. Although, at the moment, it wasn't looking great. I was being knocked off the map here and there, and my confidence started to dwindle. That's when I knew I had to take different actions, and I had to change it up a bit. So I needed to find some sort of playstyle that actually worked a little bit better. So I obviously get knocked out of the ring, but I also learned that Harley Quinn is more of the attacker who finishes off the opponents, while Bugs Bunny did a lot of damage and just kind of tried to knock the other people out of the arena, as well as just trying to not make me get in the way of Harley Quinn. It worked out pretty well. I started getting a kill right there, and the Bugs Bunny was left on 128 health, and I was trying to focus on the Bugs Bunny, but my teammate kept falling out of the map. It was 2-3, and it wasn't looking great. I only had one plan left, and that was to pretty much just spam all of my abilities, and hopefully it won. Harley Quinn tried to take me out of the map just now, but it was unsuccessful, as now they're going for my teammate once again, the Wonder Woman, and now they swap their attention to me as I'm at 109, and my teammate's at 106, or 107 damage. So they keep swapping their focus to kind of throw us off. We're both in the air, and we both get out. There's no chance. That's game 1. On to game 2. For game 2, I decided I wanted to play Steven Universe as to try to help my teammate, who is now Finn, from dying as much, as well as to supply some extra damage here and there. Blood pumping and sweat pouring, I had to figure out how to win this battle, and I had to do it quickly. So I begun by shielding my teammate and making sure that I put up shields in the arena to make sure they didn't get any combos through. That was my first plan anyway, and I had to continue with that plan for as long as I could think. But that's a really great start for me, as we got the opponents out of the map really quickly. So I started gaining lots of hope, and quickly it was misplaced as my teammate also flies out of the map. Now I was left with battling this Harley Quinn who just kept trying to get combos off of on me and get me into the air and knock me out from the top of the map. I had to dodge all these attacks going to me while trying to put up shields for my teammate, making sure that he was safe while I was also safe at the same time. Now, if you're being chased by opponents, you probably don't want to use something that makes you get locked into an animation. Alas, that's exactly what I did, and it didn't go well for me, as you could see, and now it is 1-3. A not very great scenario to be in, as now I had to shore up 3 kills while they only needed to kill one of us. Although we had 3-3 damage and the Harley Quinn was pretty low, I had to take both of them out and get enough damage in to supply me to win the round. Quite a difficult show to try to put on. I built a shield here and bubbles there. I made sure that my teammate was protected so they wouldn't accidentally push him off the edge. Now we just needed to kill the Bugs Bunny as they were very low as well. And they'll also allow my teammate Finn to actually fall off the map while they're trying to both do it at the same time. Finn needed to run away, and I didn't exactly tell him that, but I needed to do it quickly, as he was very, very close. And that was it. It was over. My watermelon boy could not win us the battle either. I got second place, but I was aiming for first, and it didn't exactly happen that way. I played pretty well in that last final game, but it wasn't enough. Sure, if I had a better teammate or someone that was just really good at the game, it wouldn't exactly be an RNG tournament. But that was the final game, or so we thought. A final 1v1 was to be put into place, a 1v1 between both of the winners of the 2v2 series, Fate vs. Donut. An epic battle between Harley Quinn and Bugs Bunny. Started off strong with both of them going back and forth, both trading damage and abilities. like the tale of a dog who just learned he's going outside in 2 minutes. After one kill from the Bugs Bunny, came another kill from the Harley Quinn, and so on. The Bugs Bunny hit again, and then so did the Harley Quinn. It just went back and forth. And finally, the final kill from the Bugs Bunny sealed the match. Bugs Bunny, or Fate, won, and it was over. GG's to all who participated, and thanks for watching. I would definitely say that Multiverse is a very fun game to play with your friends or just play for fun. And I quite enjoyed playing in the tournament too, so if you want to check out Multiverses, make sure you do. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye-bye.